Hello and welcome to Ron Whitlock Reports. I'm your host, Ron Whitlock. We're here today to talk to you about an upcoming bond and maintenance election for South Texas College in Starr and Hidalgo County. Early voting October the 21st goes through November the 1st, and then election day in both counties November the 5th, which is Tuesday. Now, we're going to have on this telecast a lot of folks talking to you about the election. We're going to give you kind of a rundown of who there are so you can kind of pay attention. In particular, you want one or the other, want to listen to what they have to say, either on this telecast or webcast, you may do so. Rose Benitez, who's chairman of the Board of Trustees, along with the president of the college, Dr. Shirley Reed. She'll be here with us on this telecast. The South Texas College trustee, Dr. Alejo Salinas, who's with us on the telecast here today, Dr. Salinas, and additional trustees, Gary Gerwitz, and we have Al's with us, Fern McClarty, and the mother Al Superior, Virginia Townsend. Representing the Tea Party, Richard Montes de Oca. We're glad to have all of you with us on the telecast here today. So let's get started and start off first of all with the first elected member of the Board of Trustees of South Texas College, and been there 17 years, Dr. Salinas. Tell us why this bond election is important, and is it as important as the last one in 2001?
I think that both of them are important in that we have had significant growth in the college, and we also need to prepare for the near future. We have seen a tremendous growth, and we have to take care of facilities for our students at all three sites, actually four sites, at the Starr County Center, at the Technology Center, and the main center on Pecan here in McAllen, and the Weslaco Center, and we also have the Nursing and Allied Health Center that are going to be recipients of the bond issue if it should pass.
So the bond election in 2001 did pass, but that tax rate as it relates to maintenance has been decreased 7 times, or one of the rates has been decreased 7 times. Why has that decrease occurred? Is it because there's been tax-paying citizens that have been made productive by going through the college? Is that kind of what the rationale is for that?
It depends on the total valuation of both counties, Starr and Hidalgo County, and valuations had been going up, which allowed for collections to increase, and as a result you have an opportunity to decrease the tax rate for the taxpayers. The last 2-3 years we've had a stagnant growth as far as the valuation in both counties, and that has resulted in a very tight budget situation. Then you also have to realize that the state itself had cut back significantly on its effort for education, and that also prompted us to have to work within the confines where we could not give the taxpayer a bigger break as we would like. The state has now reversed its position and has allowed more money to flow to the community colleges and the school districts, and as a result we are beginning to see some relief for the local taxpayers.
In going around the community and some of the forums at the Rotary Club and other places, we have noticed that those who are opposed to the increase in taxes are saying basically we have high enough taxes, we don't want higher taxes because taxes are as high as we want them to be. It doesn't necessarily mean we're maybe opposed to education or anything else, we're just opposed to all increases in taxes. How do you respond to those individuals?
Well, I think it's a normal perception when you talk about raising taxes, and especially when you combine that perception with other needs that we have in our county and our cities and our school districts, that you see a multiplication of tax increases, and that's going to cause some concern. I think that when you look at the situation that we have, where you look at the number of students that we're serving and the projections that we have, that you start to understand that this might be one of the best buys that we have for the education. It's not only a matter of increasing 3.5 cents per $100 valuation overall, but you have to look at it from the standpoint that we have a tremendous training facility and economic engine that has provided quite a bit already for our area, and that has helped the economy tremendously. So here what we have is hopefully looking at the future and how we can continue to grow and provide not only for the citizens but also for the business community and the industry that is locating in the Rio Grande Valley, and the training for those facilities, and the people that we're going to have coming to those facilities. So there's some very positive things that we look at as far as the 3.5-cent tax rate that we're proposing, and the future is now, really, because we have to prepare for those things that are going to happen. And along with that, when we're able to deliver to the industry industry training that we have in our area, I think that it also opens up new avenues for people to want to come to this area where you can have the type of training tailored to the needs of the industry.
Dr. Salinas, we'll have you back on the program a little bit later on, because we understand the Tea Party and the Owls have two members who are opposed to the bond election. So we'll give you time at the end to respond to what they're going to say that's not necessarily as favorable. And while we're getting them set up, we're going to let you listen to our conversation with Keith Patridge, who is president of the McAllen Economic Development Corporation. And he talks in terms of what Dr. Salinas and others are saying, and that is when you're creating people who are able to go out and participate in society, get jobs, pay taxes, that everybody's taxes really, in fact, are held down to a certain degree.
STC has probably been one of the biggest drivers in our efforts to recruit new business, new investment to the area. A real key to what our job is bringing in new investment and new businesses is to have a skilled, trained workforce. And without STC, we would not be competitive in that arena.
We'll be back in a moment, so stay tuned. And hello, and welcome back to the program, Ron Whitlock Reports. Special edition, Bond and Maintenance Election, South Texas College, 2013. Now, Rose McClarty with the Owls, objective watchers of the legal system. You've been listening to what the other people are saying here on the program, Keith Patridge and the longest-serving member of the board, Dr. Alejo Salinas. You differ in that you're opposed to the bond election, and why?
I certainly am, and he mentioned a few minutes ago about the tax values on the properties. It's a double whammy to the tax people that are paying the taxes, because your property values go up every year, and then the tax rates can go up whenever they vote to raise the tax rates. So the taxpayer is getting a double whammy on that.
What the South Texas College is saying, if you vote the increase when you go to the polls and vote it, you have a $100,000 house, then your taxes will go up $35. That's how much it'll cost you to be able to take and provide housing for the college, which has gone from $20,000 in its current facilities, and it's already at $30,000. They're expecting it to go to $40,000. So what are you going to say to these students who need to be educated and be productive citizens and be taxpayers rather than on the tax dole?
All right, how many homes does it take to educate that student that you're talking about? If you tax the home out from under their parents or their relatives or whatever, which is more valuable, in education or their home to live in? So my thing is, pay their way, help put more in. If you have more into the system, you have a little more oomph to do things.
Problem is, if they're not educated and therefore not able to get a high-paying job, then they're not going to be contributing much more back
But you
to
pay,
society.
but you pay for your way into education when you're going to school. Have a job, Whataburger.
But if they can't take students to South Texas College because there's no room to have them come over and be educated, then they're going to have to do something else, like be on welfare or something else. That's the point of those who are in favor of this bond election.
And well, like I said, I would rather have a home than someone going to school. So I worry about the people that their homes are being taxed out from under them.
Last 30 seconds, tell us exactly why they should vote against, because your Mother Superior is going to be next in the hot seat, and she's going to explain why you're all wrong.
All you have to do is look, your tax bills will be shortly coming out in, I believe, October, November, and December. And what tax bill you have now is going to be higher next year. So if you think that's all right to keep taxing and you want to pay those tax bills, then go ahead, vote for it. But if you want to keep your homes and try to be able to pay for them and live a nice life, no matter what your home is, whether it's a $30,000 or a $5 million home, we have a right to live in a home and try not to be taxed out from under us.
And now we're going to segue into Gary Gerwitz, who has served on the board, South Texas Community College and South Texas College for a long period, both when it was called South Texas Community College and South Texas College. Here's what Gary Gerwitz had to say, which is, trust us.
So they can trust us that if they give us this help that we need, that we're going to use it the right way, and we're going to deliver what we say we're going to do.
And you're watching the special report of Ron Whitlock Reports, Bond and Maintenance Election, 2013 Election Day, Tuesday, November 5th. Early vote, October 21st through November 1st in Hidalgo and Starr counties, South Texas College. Now, we have the Mother Superior, so to speak, according to Fern McClarity, who just left the hot seat.
That means the oldest.
That means the oldest. And you just heard what your fellow Al Fern just had to say opposing the bond election.
Yes.
Tell us now why you're in favor of it and why Fern is all wrong.
Well, I don't know that she's wrong. I mean, she's got
Her
welcome
opinion.
to her opinion. No, I will always go the distance for education. I will. Because I see it's opportunity for a whole lot of people who would not have the opportunity if SDC was not there. So I'm going to support SDC. I read the article from Ned Sheets yesterday or day before in the letters to the editor. I think he was editorial. And he had some good points because I remember Othel Brand starting it, and what he did it for was to help the workforce and the maquilas and stuff. That's really was his objective. And it seems like it has kind of gotten off of that, and they're kind of encouraging people to get degrees and go on and everything. But all I know is there are a whole lot of kids who would not have an opportunity to go anywhere if SDC was not there. They can't afford Pan American, and they can't afford to go out of the valley. So they're going to go to a community college.
UT Austin or Houston or San Antonio.
And they're
where?
going to be able to afford it. So their chances are gone, and this gives them an opportunity. So I'm going to be for that. Now, you put a bond issue for a courthouse, I'm going to vote against it, for sure, but not education. I'll go whatever, bite the bullet, whatever it is that it costs me, it's worth it.
So you evoke the legacy of 20-year Mayor Othel Brand, former member of the McAllen School Board, Othel Brand Sr., who probably saw the fact that people working, migrating, Griffin and Brand was showing a decline in agriculture, and showing a transversion from our economy of agriculture based into a service-based economy, manufacturing-based economy, and wanted to do what had been created by not only South Texas College, McAllen Economic Development Corporation, and others. So you think Othel Brand Sr. was right on?
Yes, I do. He had vision, and he believed in the youth, and he believed they should have an opportunity, and I think this was it. Should they go more technical? Maybe. I don't know. I'm not sure how they're made up on that. I don't know where their priorities. I don't know if technical has gone way down in priority. I don't know. But it should not have, because we should have offered all kinds of technical support for all kinds of businesses.
30 seconds again. Why do you think the voters should vote for the bonds, maintenance bonds, and the other bond?
Is it worth it to invest in the future, or is it not? Simple for me. But then I'm believing education. I was on a school board and watched those teachers down in the trenches, and I want kids to have an opportunity.
Now, when we do a little segue, we're going to have Dr. Shirley Reed to tell you what she thinks about this particular college, South Texas College, and what you need to consider when you go to the polls and vote for or against the maintenance and bonds for South Texas College.
Why are we doing this election? We're asking the voters to approve a 3.5-cent increase to the tax rate for South Texas College. If you have a $100,000 home, that will be a $35 a year increase on your tax rate. And with the 3.5 cents, we would be able to issue $159 million in construction bonds for expanding all 5 of our campus. And we would use the remaining 3 cents to fund the operating cost. We're proposing to construct approximately 500,000 square feet. We would need that 3 cents to pay utilities, maintenance, operations, hire new faculty, develop new programs. I also do mention to the viewers that the college's tax rate is frozen. We cannot increase the tax rate without voter approval. So if the voters do approve this tax increase, it will not be increased until the voters approve it again. We have developed a master plan. We fully anticipate that this adjustment in our tax rate will fund the college for the next decade. And seniors, 65 and older, and the disabled, your taxes are frozen. The board has been very conservative in putting together this bond package. We're very mindful that nobody wants increased taxes. We feel this is a modest increase that will allow the college to continue and grow and expand. We simply don't have room. We have 100 portable classrooms on our campuses. In 2001, when the voters approved the $98 million in bonds, we constructed enough facilities to accommodate 12,000 students. Today, we have 31,000 students. That's an increase of 18,000 students with the same facilities. If the college is going to continue to respond to the economic development needs of the area, train people for good paying jobs, help the quality of life of all families, we simply need to grow and expand the college. Even though you have no children going to South Texas College, you may need a nurse someday, you may need an EMT, your car may break down, your air conditioning may go out, your computer may fail. Guess who trains all those folks? South Texas College. We're absolutely critical to the economic development and social mobility within this community. We put people to work in good paying jobs and have a very significant economic impact on the region. If you just look at the economic impact of South Texas College on this immediate area, It's $204 million a year.
We have with us now, member of the Tea Party, Richard Montes de Oca. Mr. Montes de Oca, welcome to the telecast.
Thank you very much.
You've heard members of the Tea Party, you've heard members of the Owls, you've heard boards of trustees and others talking about the fact this audience should go and vote for the bonds. You're in favor of them not doing so. Why?
Right. Thank you for giving me the opportunity. First of all, this is a difficult decision for me. I was involved in the creation of South Texas Community College, and I think it's an excellent program.
At the behest of both the Brand Senior.
At the behest of both Barrow Senior. But the taxpayer doesn't get to choose one program over another. I want to be very clear. If all the issues that are presently on the ballot are approved, the taxpayers are going to get something like a 30% increase in taxes. The taxpayer doesn't get to choose, I'd like this one and I don't like that one. But you know what's going to happen there? They're going to take your property and then you're going to be up the creek here. So I think we have to have a balance. This particular year, in 2013 and 2014, we are getting where the income of people in the community is going down because of a variety of ways. I don't want to get into the economy, but the people that are requesting additional funds are not considering those things. And the other thing is everybody asks for as much as they feel is necessary to carry out their activity. Nobody is in charge of putting together the whole thing. And this is why I think it's important to say that when you get your bill, it's going to be 30% higher than in 2012. That is significant.
Basically, you're saying, just like Fern said, you think that the taxes are high enough right now, you're not willing to consider any taxes in anything else.
At this point in our economic environment,
So you'd say vote no now, but wait a year, come back and ask us again.
nobody's going to go under the bus and things are not going to...
Well, the college would say they're going to have to turn down 1,000 who register and then can't stay because there's no room.
The very
minimum of 1,000.
Let me make your point. The reason they're into construction is because the interest rates are low, and they can build more at this particular time. But the population, the income of the population, is not increasing. In fact, that's going down. So you're trying to get blood from a turnip here. But the question is always, can you afford it? And I think we're to the point of saying we need to make some decisions here, and we can't get everything that's in the store.
Thank you very much for your opinion. Now we're going to listen to Rose Benitez, who is the chairman of the Board of Trustees, South Texas College. She speaks in terms of the economic potential, economic opportunity, and what has happened in Starr County. 4,500 jobs created since South Texas College opened the campus there after the 2001 bond election. Here's Rose Benitez.
South Texas College in Starr County, McAllen, and Weslaco grows to what you see today. At that point, the campus had all but 6,000, close to 7,000 students. Fast forward 12 years, we're serving 32,000 students now in facilities that were built to equip about 15,000 students. So obviously, one of the major issues is not having the necessary facilities. But I want to tell you a little bit about Starr County because I do economic development for Starr County. So 10 years ago, when I first started on that job, I was working in a community that had 36% unemployment. Very little industry, very little retail. So we worked real hard with the community of Starr County. Fast forward 10 years, we were able to reduce the unemployment to 9%. The first time in history that Starr County had ever had single-digit unemployment.
And you credit that to
South Texas College, and the vast majority of the credit goes to South Texas College in having higher education opportunities in your own community. So as we're moving forward, the recruitment efforts for us when I started to work in the Starr County Industrial Foundation were so much easier because I could talk to companies, I could talk to industry, and then they could see that they weren't going into a community that didn't have the opportunity to grow and prosper. So their businesses do well because of education and training for their labor force, and more importantly, because the economy was being self-sufficient and sustainable with a well-rounded labor force and with the opportunity to invest.
For the wrap-up segment of the special report, Ron Whitlock reports bond and maintenance election, South Texas College, Election Day, Tuesday, November the 5th. The cleanup batter for today is the longest-serving elected official on the South Texas College Board of Trustees, Dr. Alejo Salinas. Dr. Salinas.
Well, thank you very much for the opportunity to be here today. I know that any election is a critical issue for any community, but when it comes to education, and I've been an educator for 45 years, I agree with the fact the best citizenry we can have is an educated citizenry. And one of the things that we have not looked at is that a community college, and of course we understand now it's South Texas College, but it's still a community college, depends on three sources of revenue for their existence. And at the present time, STC operates on about 33% income from the students through tuition, 33% from the state effort that we have, and 33% from the taxpayers. While any election can be controversial in that there is an increase in taxes, I feel very strongly, and again based on my 45 years in education, that it is very important that we provide for the students today and for the next, let's say, 20 years, because not to have some students educated is going to create more elements of poverty, more elements of crime. We're going to be having more people on the dole, and I think that all of that can be diminished if we continue to educate our population in Star and Hidalgo County. It's something that I look at, plus we have a choice here as voters. We have a choice on what we want to vote for and what we want to approve. And I think that in the end, what we have is an element of trust. The word trust has come about quite a bit, and we have an element of trust that the board and the administration at South Texas College will certainly utilize the proceeds of the bond election if passed to provide the facilities and the needs of the students for a great number of years.
Thank everyone who has participated in this telecast webcast here today. We also appreciate the fact that you're involved, you're the voter, you're going to have to make a decision pro or con on Election Day, Tuesday, November 5th. So go to bond2013.southtexascollege.edu for further questions. Till next time, on Ron Whitlock Reports, adios.